Good morning. My name is Ramchand. I'm responsible for the manufacturing supply chain products with eBusiness Suite. Today I'm going to talk to you about what we have in our products in our current releases, some of the new capabilities that we've introduced in the upcoming releases, and some exciting new products that we're building in the next year. There's three different topics. What do we have in the current release? Where are we? Specific to which release and what we've built so far. And some key highlights of the new capabilities that we've introduced in the 12.1 and 12.2 cycles of eBusiness Suite. And then some new capabilities that we're introducing with mobility, specifically with smartphone and tablet applications. And then we're also building a number of big data solutions around in-memory applications, things that actually leverage a lot of the Oracle technology to be able to produce certain new capabilities that we couldn't achieve before using the Oracle technology. The first slide I'm going to go through here is really a picture of where we are from a release standpoint. And 12.1 was actually released in 2009, and it had a lot of new capability outside of the financials area, specifically in the supply chain and manufacturing area, where we introduced a lot of new products on the supplier management, supplier data hub areas and procurement, really to complete the full life cycle of strategic procurement. On the manufacturing side, we introduced a lot of new capability, including outsourced manufacturing, for those customers who actually do business by subcontracting partial or full of their manufacturing to other contractors. And then we introduced a lot of technology-driven projects that include Endeca, which is an acquisition that we did in 2011, integrated with the eBusiness Suite, to provide a new paradigm to actually access data and to look at information and do your daily work. Going forward, we are actually building a lot of new capability, specifically with three different themes. One is easy to use, easy to implement, and really easy to deploy. And with those themes, we are actually using a lot of modernization techniques for our user interface. We are coming up with new applications that makes it easier for our users to implement and use our applications. And we're also building technology-driven projects, including in-memory technology with our database as well as our hardware, to productize and build applications that can really provide some new capabilities for our customers that we couldn't do previously. We are currently in the 12.2.4 release, and we have a number of plans for our next release, which is 12.2.5, and then a 12.2.6 coming up following that. And we are currently in the planning stages of the 12.2.5 release. This slide really goes through what we have built with 12.2. Some of the key enhancements specific to our areas in manufacturing are with eBusiness Suite Endeca extensions. And I have a separate section in this presentation where I'm going to talk about Endeca in particular. But there are specific modules that we introduced that are actually extensions of these Endeca technology capabilities, which cover the discrete and process manufacturing Endeca extensions to eBusiness Suite, where workers can actually look at all of the aggregated data in memory and to do their daily work. The second area we introduced a lot of capability was in inventory management, and then followed by cost management. We also did a number of new capabilities around customer-driven enhancements, specifically with Express Transact for serialized manufacturing, where whenever we had these high-tech manufacturers where you had a lot of electronic parts that need to be serialized and they need to be assembled into their products, we provided capabilities that can actually go through those flows in a very, very seamless and easy manner. So we created capabilities with screens where you can actually scan the serial numbers and to be able to enter those transactions. And those functionalities specifically targeted for people with a lot of parts in their bill of material, where they can actually scan those parts and do the assembly in the shop floor. We also added capabilities in our MES suite specific to clock in, clock out of operators. On the process manufacturing side, we added a number of open interfaces to import batch records and batch detail records, and those were actually specific customer-driven requests that had come through our enhancement requests. And then contingent worker functionality, specifically in our MES area. And this is actually something that our customers have been asking for a long time, because we understood that there are about 30 to 40% of the workforce are temporary in a typical shop floor. So we added functionality within the shop floor, within our products, that can actually onboard those temporary workers to be able to clock in their time and to be able to actually complete their work. We also added new functionality with our MES, specifically with electronic Kanban, to enhance the functionality around just-in-time manufacturing. There are a number of new products which have been introduced with the 12.1 and 12.2 cycles. Specifically in 12.1 we introduced what we call as outsourced manufacturing, and this is for most businesses, manufacturers who actually make products, some of them partially themselves, some of them they're outsourcing to subcontractors where they need to actually do some extra work with their subcontractors, or even be able to fully outsource their manufacturing to subcontractors and be able to bring it back or directly drop ship it to their customers. On the in-memory application side, we're leveraging a number of capabilities from our in-memory technology that includes our in-memory database, as well as our engineered systems, including our Exadata and Exalytics, to productize and build several new applications. The first two of them, which are currently released, are in-memory cost management for discrete and process industries, where we've leveraged the capabilities of these in-memory technology with both our database and our hardware to provide new capabilities that we couldn't do before with previous technology. And I'm actually going to do a demo of the software later in my presentation, where you can actually see live how this product works and how beneficial it is to many of our customers. Over the next 12 months, we are actually building a lot of new additional capabilities, extending more capabilities around the Endeca technology, specifically with quality management, cost management, project manufacturers, people who are actually doing project-based manufacturing, and a lot of more smartphone applications are being productized across all of the workforce. And as we see more and more workforce getting more and more mobile, these applications will be something that these workers can take on the road and to do their daily work. We are also building specific tablet-based applications and touchscreen applications. On the process manufacturing side, we've already had touchscreen applications specifically to the OPM life sciences area, and we are leveraging similar technology using our OA framework to build out specific tablet applications with all of the gesture support, swipe, and all of those optimized for the tablet that the shop floor supervisor, the quality engineer would be able to make use of. And then from a usability and a UI modernization perspective, we have actually done a lot of work specific to our products to make it easy for our users to actually use our products, specifically where you have to toggle between an OA framework screen to a forms-based screen, or go into a BI dashboard and back into a transactional application. We are looking at those flows very, very closely and making it seamless, such as the customers can actually navigate through the applications in a more seamless and easy manner so that they can do their work on a daily basis. Going forward on the next 12 months, we are actually continuing to productize a lot of new capability around EBS extensions for Endeca. We're going to be building industry-specific applications around in-memory applications specifically to metals industry, high-tech industry, semiconductor industry, and so on and so forth. And I'm going to talk about that specifically in the next few slides. This slide really talks about the overall solution of Oracle manufacturing. And as you can see, it's a very, very comprehensive set of products that we have that virtually support all different business processes across various verticals. It's a single repository where we have multiple different manufacturing methodologies that can be supported, whether it's repetitive manufacturing as you would have in an automotive environment, a discrete manufacturing environment as you would have in a typical high-tech manufacturer or in a semiconductor manufacturing environment. We also have flow and lean manufacturing support wherever you need to have the Japanese methodology of lean manufacturing or just-in-time manufacturing, and process manufacturing, which basically supports all of the process industries and CPG industries, including chemicals, life sciences, pharmaceutical, and so on and so forth. And this technology and this architecture is really built on a single repository of our manufacturing execution system that has a very tight integration with the rest of the ERP suite. And it covers everything from setting up your bill of material, setting up your routing, all the way through tracking every aspect of your manufacturing through the process. And we support detailed quality tracking through the entire life cycle of the manufacturing, irrespective of the manufacturing method. And then we also have detailed lot serial tracking where you can actually drill down and look at the full-blown genealogy of where the parts came from, which were defective, and where they are going. We also have a complete project manufacturing or a project tracking system that's integrated with this. And for those customers who actually have a complete project-based manufacturing, like for example, people who are building turbines or engines that actually have a project manufacturing environment, they could leverage our manufacturing solution and extend it with a complete project tracking and project accounting system that works in correlation with this. Our system also supports various different manufacturing methodologies, like for example, assemble to order or engineer to order or configure to order, where you get customer orders or individual orders that come in that actually order for different types of products. And the manufacturing solution actually works seamlessly for those environments where you have an engineered solution or an assemble to order type of a solution. This solution also is completely integrated with the rest of the ERP solution, specifically with the PLM side, with the logistics and the transportation side, also with the rest of the ERP, where we can track all of the costs all the way going through your financials and your general ledger, where the manufacturing solution targets the core manufacturers irrespective of whichever industry you're working in. We also support S95 based integrations to other shop floor systems. So if you have a custom MES system that you're using, or a contract manufacturing system that is actually bringing in some quality information, that can be actually brought in through standards based integration with S95 into our system, so that you can get one single consolidated repository of our manufacturing solution. In 12.1, we introduced two specific products on top of manufacturing. Manufacturing execution system for discrete, and manufacturing execution system for process manufacturing. And this is really a culmination of two different roles that a shop floor has: a supervisor and an operator. Every screen in this product, everything, every transaction, every flow that we have caters to one or the other, either it's an operator or a supervisor. So what work do you need to do today? What are the tasks that a person operator needs to have today? What kind of a documentation do they need to read? All of that is systematically available through our MES system, whether it's a discrete side or on the process side. For the supervisor, they can come in and look at what is the shop floor status, where are things going wrong, make corrective actions, put a job on hold, reschedule a job, things like that from a shop floor supervisor perspective. And these two products are available with 12.1. As well as with 12.2, and we are continuing to enhance a lot of capability around these MES solutions. There are a lot of MES solutions available in the market today, specifically with the best of breed solutions, and some of our customers have actually implemented Oracle's manufacturing solution with an integrated best of breed solution. But the advantage of our pre-integrated MES solution that we have today is that it comes integrated with our manufacturing solution. So the total cost of ownership of being able to integrate to a third-party system, being able to customize that, manage those integrations over upgrades, and the total cost over the life cycle of the product is going to be increasingly expensive. So many of our customers are actually looking at these MES solutions with pre-integrated to our manufacturing suite, and to be able to implement that in the shop floor. And we've added a lot of in-depth capability today, catering to the supervisor and the operator. This slide really talks about what's new in our MES solution in 12.2, and this really talks about some specific capabilities that we've added to high-tech manufacturers, where there is a lot of serialized components, lots of parts that need to be assembled when you get the finished good or a sub-assembly. And we've added specific screens that actually what we call as Express Transact, to be able to scan the serial numbers and to enter the information very, very quickly, so that it makes it very, very productive for the operators in the shop floor. We also have detailed capabilities around integration with electronic Kanban along with MES, which is available in 12.2. And that electronic Kanban is a full-blown just-in-time manufacturing system that's integrated to our MES solution. Electronic Kanban. This is actually new functionality that's available in release 12.2. And this is something that was an enhanced version of what we had in the flow manufacturing product previously. And with this, we are now able to actually have a complete 360-degree view of electronic Kanban planning of the Kanban specifically for inventory replenishment in the shop floor. And as you can see, we can actually plan the Kanbans, you can execute it all from one single place. And you can look at whenever the inventory levels are going down for the operator, we have various mechanisms to be able to automatically replenish the inventory in the bins. And with this solution, which is completely built with our fusion technology with ADF, We have a dashboard that we start with, which gives you specific KPIs as to check on the inventory health of the shop floor. And with that, you can actually drill down and look at where the Kanban cards are, how you've been planning them, and how you're going to be executing them. We have something called as a Kanban card replenishment, which basically takes into account all of the orders of the Kanban replenishment to a supplier, consolidates them and brings them together so that they can get one single purchase order for all of the replenishment that they need to see from a supplier perspective. We also have something called as automatic card replenishments. It can be done manually also, where you can set up periodic intervals where when you think the quantities are going to be needing to be replenished, and it can be automatically replenished at those periodic intervals. We also have something called as electronic Kanban planning, which is basically a simplified simulation tool where you can figure out how many cards do you need, when do you need to plan for them, and when do you need to execute them. So you can actually use the simulation tool to figure out how many cards you need and what quantities you need for specific items. We also support temporary Kanban cards, which basically allows you to look at specific intervals in the calendar year. For example, you could get a spike in production at the holiday time frame where you need additional cards. So we have the mechanism of introducing temporary cards at the time where you can use that for replenishment in the shop floor. The next topic I'm really going to cover is Endeca information technology and discovery, and this is something that we've integrated with the e-business suite in the current release and the next few releases. Endeca was a technology, it's an in-memory technology that we acquired in 2011, and Endeca is a thing that actually used to run some important websites, like for example dice.com, homedepot.com, where you kind of bring in the shopping cart type of an experience for online users. You could go in there, pick the product or the catalog, pick a particular product, and you can have a shopping cart type of an experience. What we did with e-business suite and ERP is to leverage this technology, bring it together, and bring that same shopping cart type of an experience for our average ERP users. And we productize this across a lot of the modules with e-business suite, including manufacturing. And I'm going to briefly talk about some of those aspects of what we've done leveraging that Endeca technology. Information access, the traditional paradigm that we've always known is to either write a report, a traditional operational report, for every business question that comes in. Or you could write a business intelligence report, which is moving a lot of the data into a data warehouse and doing analysis on the data. On the data. What Endeca, with the Endeca integration with the e-business suite provides is really eliminate most of the operational reporting that you would require to ask and answer some of the basic questions you would need to do your daily work. Like for example, which of my orders are delayed, or which of my parts that are supposed to be shipped from my suppliers which are late. And in order to find this information, you would actually go into the system, into an ERP system, and run several reports. So in this Endeca solution, we have a new information driven paradigm where a lot of the information is provided with in-memory technology as dashboards to average ERP users. You can actually navigate through the data, filter the data, drill down on it, and actually perform your work right from that screen. So it provides a lot of different capabilities, including search and find, including fuzzy search to be able to drill down and look at a particular description of a particular item or a supplier. We provide something called as tag clouds, which actually increase in size depending upon the data and the contextualization. And then a lot of graphs and charts and tables that actually provide you the transactional data, all cached in memory. So it's really, really fast, and interacting with those dashboards are really, really quick for the users, rather than having to go back and run several reports and do manual comparisons. The architecture for Endeca is fairly simple. This is something that's memory intensive, so we recommend this be implemented on a separate server, as what we call as Endeca server. And we recommend that to be put in a separate hardware specifically because it is memory intensive. This does work in your existing hardware, but it's also optimized best to work with Exalytics. So if you're leveraging Exalytics, this will work really, really well. And typically the solution is implemented through the EBS middle tier from the database. There's a simple ETL that brings in all of this information cached into the separate server and presented on the presentation layer. Lot of the plumbing that's required for security, user-based security, user responsibility security that e-business suite has already been accomplished with the solution. So all we are providing right now is new capabilities, new modules with these EBS Endeca extensions for every ERP user to provide the same shopping cart type of an experience that the online shoppers have with the Endeca solution. Today we have a lot of new modules that we've built across eBusiness Suite that cover this Endeca functionality. And specifically on the manufacturing side, we have discrete manufacturing, we have process manufacturing, cost management, inventory, outsourced manufacturing, and I'm going to talk about that specifically in the next chapter, and then warehouse management. And we are continuing to build a number of new areas across our manufacturing suite to enhance further using this Endeca technology. Here is a sample of the new screen an average discrete manufacturing user would have. And as you see, it starts with a set of KPIs in the top, and you have some charts and some filter criteria on the left. You can search for that information. You can look at the transactional information at the bottom on those tables. You can drill down directly into the transaction screen and do your transactions right from here. Here is an example of process manufacturing. This is for the average process manufacturing user, whether you're using quality or a generic process manufacturing supervisor or an operator. And this is the dashboard that you would enter into our application. Here is inventory management extension for Endeca, looking at parts, looking at availability, looking at on hand across warehouses, and to be able to look for information, look for parts, look for substitute parts, and so on and so forth. Cost management, this really brings in all of the transactions that are either from inventory, whether from order management, whether from shipment, from manufacturing, all of the costed transactions before they go to general ledger, before they go to the subledger, to be able to visualize them, look at the uncosted transactions, resubmit them as required. For the next releases, we are actually building a number of new capability with Endeca, and here is project manufacturing Endeca for eBusiness Suite. It's available in the next version that's coming up, specifically for large project manufacturers, where we have this integration between project management and manufacturing, where we provide one single consolidated view of the entire manufacturing associated with that particular project. Here is Oracle Quality Extension for manufacturing. Here all the quality collection, the non-conformance details, the analysis that's required for every operation, the quality data that's collected from every operation into the quality plans can be visualized from here, drill down, look at corrective actions right from this dashboard, and all of the data that is presented in this quality extension is specifically cached in memory, and it's available to the manufacturing, discrete and process manufacturing users. We also have a YouTube channel that really shows some of these online demos. So we've uploaded this across eBusiness Suite, so it is available today. So if you go to youtube.com/Oracle EBS demos, you should be able to look at these demos and have your users take a look at what kind of functionality these Endeca extensions provide. You can also subscribe to this YouTube channel, and every time we add a new demo, it'll send you an email with it. The next topic I really want to talk about is a new module that we introduced in 12.1. It's also available in 12.2, called as Outsourced Manufacturing for Discrete Industries. And this particularly is for manufacturers, and most manufacturers have some level of subcontracting that they do. Either they are buying raw material or they are outsourcing it to some intermediate steps that need to be manufactured with a subcontractor, or some many manufacturers actually completely outsource their manufacturing to subcontractors in other countries in Asia and other places. eBusiness Suite had some basic functionality previously, what we called as partial outsourcing or step level. And that is the left top diagram that you can see there, where as you're going through the manufacturing process, you set up a work order, you're going through every step of the manufacturing process. There is an outside processing that happens in the middle. You can actually create a purchase requisition, send it out to your subcontractor. After processing, receive it back into your shop floor and complete the rest of the manufacturing. This functionality was already available with the basic manufacturing suite. What we have done is we've gone into our manufacturing suite and we've enhanced a lot of the capability around all of the different flavors of manufacturing, specifically with outsourced manufacturing. And we now can support all the different flavors, including buy-sell subcontracting, chargeable subcontracting, and non-chargeable subcontracting. Specific flows, like for example, in the chargeable subcontracting, we look at customers that have suppliers in countries such as Taiwan and Korea and Japan, where both the OEM and the supplier both have ownership of the material. So who buys it from where, how there is a value add of the transaction that happens between the OEM and the subcontractor is all captured in the transactions, as well as the financial aspects behind the scenes. For the non-chargeable subcontracting, again, the difference between what ownership is held by the OEM, what ownership is held by the subcontractor is captured in the transaction and the flows. In a buy-sell subcontracting environment, typically the OEM would buy the material from some supplier, drop ship it to a subcontractor with a value-added charge, and then they would either buy it back, or once the products are manufactured, they would ship it to their end customer, and they would pay only for the net value-added charge. All of these different models have been incorporated with eBusiness Suite Manufacturing, and we've introduced a new product called as EBS Outsourced Manufacturing for Discrete Industries. And it really provides one single place for a 360-degree view and visualization of all of the aspects of subcontract manufacturing. So that includes, what is your subcontract status? Is it on time? Is it getting delayed? Right? What are the inventory balances? How much of material have we bought? How much is there at the subcontractor? How much of them are defective, specifically with quality information? And then financial positions. How much do we have to pay them? How much do they have to pay us? All of that have been captured into one single repository, and we've built an Endeca screen that kind of gives you that 360-degree visualization of your entire subcontracting business from one single place. The next topic I want to cover is mobility. In the mobility, this is a very interesting area for us because we are building a lot of smartphone applications, tablet applications across, and the discussion always has been, what is the right strategy? There are lots of devices. Is laptop a mobile device today? Is a smartphone a mobile device today? Are tablets a mobile device today? And then they come with various shapes and sizes and forms. You have a 10-inch tablet, you have a 7-inch smartphone, you have like a 5-inch smartphone, a 6-inch smartphone. So do we productize new applications for every one of these form factors and then manage them and maintain them separately? Or do we make it in one place where it can render in all of these different form factors? So there's a lot of discussions, a lot of strategy conversations that we've had with our customers over the last several years. And we think that the way we are productizing it today, specifically with smartphone applications, that leverage some of the device integration capabilities that include the GPS, the camera, the maps, things like that that are important in the smartphone would be a smartphone application. And they are available both for iOS as well as Androids. And then from a tablet application perspective, less so from a device integration perspective, but more so from the extra real estate that comes with it, can we leverage a similar paradigm that we've had in the desktop application, but also look at capabilities of a touch screen, the swiping capability, the gesture support, things like that would be incorporated into our applications. With this strategy in mind, we are building a number of applications, both for smartphone as well as tablets. And the first series of the smartphone applications that are coming out today, and as you can see, we today have mobile field service and expense applications that you can actually take an expense report, take a picture of it, and just submit your expense report right from your smartphone. And in the next release, we are coming up with a number of what we call as horizontal as well as specific self-service smartphone applications that work on the smartphone. And across eBusiness Suite, and particularly in manufacturing, where we're looking at manufacturing supervisor, operator, quality engineer, and so on and so forth. So here is an example of a screenshot of Fusion Mobile Expenses, and this is actually built for the Fusion applications, but it's available for eBusiness Suite, where you can actually take a picture, submit a simple expense report right from one single place. So here's the Fusion Mobile Expenses, some more additional screenshots specific to entering an expense report. You can actually take a picture, you can actually attach your receipt, and then you can submit it directly from your smartphone here. On the manufacturing side, we've actually building a number of smartphone applications, and this is an example of Discrete Manufacturing Supervisor. And as you can see, a lot of standardization has gone into these mobile applications that include where the buttons are, how the swipes are happening, a lot of testing specifically with degrading of networks, whether you're using Wi-Fi or LTE or 3G or 2G or even an edge network, how does the data transpose, and looking at specific things for a supervisor. Like for example, putting a job on hold, looking at job information. Is there a quality defect? Is there a delay in the job? Information that can be presented readily to them. If you require a lot of information, obviously there is the desktop applications where people can go on, and this is specifically the mobile users, people who are mobile, the shop floor supervisor who is actually navigating the shop floor, who wants to do certain things. They can quickly look up things on their smartphone as opposed to having to walk back to their desk. Here is an example of a process manufacturing supervisor, And as you can see, a lot of standardization has gone into entering of the data, picking of the values, and navigating through these applications. They all have a very similar paradigm. They all look very similar. And each of these applications have solved a set of problems that are specific to those mobile applications, typically tailored to different roles of an ERP user. Here is project manufacturing mobile app. Here is specific transactions like, for example, borrow payback, or you're moving material from one project to the other, where you can actually perform these transactions. Just bring up the from project and the to project and just key in that information, and the inventory transfer happens right from your mobile application. Here's product information application. Here you can actually look up your items, look at your parts, and you can look at your different warehouses. You can look at your quantity available on a GPS map, and actually look at comparisons between products and investigate attributes between products and parts that are in your warehouses or across your warehouses. On the tablet applications, we are again building a number of new capabilities, leveraging that extra real estate that comes with the tablet, and a series of applications that we are targeting, specifically role-based ones, again for the operator and the supervisor, to be able to look at exceptions in the shop floor. Let's assume a quality engineer or a supervisor is navigating the shop floor, and he finds that there is some problem with a particular job, or something is on hold, or something is damaged. Rather than having to go back all the way to the desk to perform the transaction, to be able to bring up that job, look at that information, and put a job on hold or reschedule it, can be done right from your tablet as the supervisor is navigating the shop floor. Those are the use cases that we are looking at, working with our customers and trying to productize them. Here is a sample screenshot of a tablet application, specifically with the Discrete Manufacturing Supervisor. And as you can see, there is specific KPIs that you can look at the top. Transactional information for the jobs, you can drill down, visualize them. Attachments will be allowed. You can take notes. You can put a job on hold and do specific actions. If there is a lot of data entry, obviously we encourage our users to go to the desktop application to do it. But these actually satisfy a set of capabilities, set of things for the users that are mobile and having to do certain functions while they are actually navigating the shop floor. The next chapter I'm going to really talk about is in-memory applications. And these are new products that we have built, and we are continuing to build, leveraging Oracle's in-memory technology that includes Oracle's in-memory database as well as Oracle's engineered systems. Most of the ERP users are used to batch programs that run at the end of the period in a very, very slow fashion. For example, cost accountants, operations managers, finance do a lot of activity during the period close cycle to be able to compute the actual manufacturing cost or close to the manufacturing cost to get accuracy. They set the new standards for the next period so that they're getting more closer to accuracy. These are batch programs that look at large volumes of transactional data that happens over the period, during the period. And then these batch programs run at the end of the period 2 days, 3 days at a time to actually compute the costs, and then the information is sent over to the general ledger, or new costs are set. What we have done with this solution is introduce two new products: in-memory cost management for discrete and in-memory cost management for process industries, that leverages our in-memory technology, including our database as well as our engineered system, to provide new capabilities that we could not accomplish before. And the most important point out of this is the business users who actually run these batch programs at the end of the period for 2 days, 3 days at a time to calculate the cost can now actually accomplish this in minutes and seconds, where we benchmark, we leverage the in-memory technology to achieve such speeds. Once we are able to get such a speed, we built these two new products that actually can now work in a simulation fashion to show the customers, the users, the impact to their business. And I'm actually going to do a demo of this whole solution today so that you can actually visually see how powerful this technology and this application is. And this really has three components to the solution. One is what we call as a cost impact simulator, which models in any changes that you have in the system. Like, for example, a supplier could be giving you a discount. You could have raw material costs that could drop. In a process manufacturing environment, you could have ingredients and raw material costs that are changing. Sugar prices could be dropping in a food manufacturer or a beverage manufacturer. The labor rates on the shop floor could be increasing, or you need to give a salary raise to your shop floor employees by $1 an hour. Utility bills could be changing, could be increasing. The utility bills could be increasing. So how does these changes impact your business? Typically, these changes are recorded allocated at the end of the period to manufacturing costs, and looked at upon for the future. With the help of this tool, you will actually be able to look at the impact of these changes in real time and how it impacts your business, such that important decisions can be made, whether you're doing make-buy decisions of your products, or whether you're going to be changing manufacturing locations, or whether you're going to be giving more discounts, or you need to reprice your products that you're selling to your customers. Such decisions can be made with this tool, which actually works in real time with in-memory technology. So I'm going to demo in-memory applications, a live demo here from a local system that I have set up here. So I'm launching an Excel spreadsheet, and this is something that we have talked to a lot of customers, and we went and asked them, what kind of user interface would you like to have for such a solution? And given this is predominantly used by operations managers, manufacturers, finance, and cost accounting, they all said that Excel spreadsheet would be a preferable user interface. So we went ahead and actually built this entire system on a simple Excel spreadsheet. As you can see, there is a Smart View tab right there, which is actually a plugin on the Excel spreadsheet that came with our Hyperion acquisition. I'm going in there and I'm actually logging into an Exadata machine that's running in our Austin data center. And I'm actually going to show you a live demo of eBusiness Suite running on that Exadata machine in the Austin data center. And as I'm navigating through this, it brings up a simple Excel spreadsheet that, as you can see here, with some fields here. The simple use case that I have here is a company such as a high-tech manufacturer is getting a 20% discount in one of their parts. Let's say it's an LCD display, and they're making a lot of different products in their company, from smartphones, from televisions, to all of the other products, hundreds and millions of them. And one of the suppliers comes in and says, we're going to give you a 20% discount on to one part, one item, which is an LCD display. And I'm going to show you a demo flow that walks you through this. So I'm entering some information here, which is a particular item. There are some fields here in the top. As you can see, there is a tab called as in-memory cost management and some specific buttons here. There's a simulate button, there's calculate gross profit, launch gross profit analyzer, and there is something called as a member selection as well. In a typical eBusiness Suite user, member selection is similar to what we call as a list of values, or LOV. You can actually pick that and enter the data from your member selection. Since I know this demo example, I'm just keying it in here. The item is a particular item, and the item number is CM66322. It's in a particular organization M1, and it's associated with one cost type called as frozen. When I click on this basic information, I'm going to click on refresh, and as you can see, the speed in which this is operating, it's going to go and fetch the unit cost of this particular item back from eBusiness Suite system here, directly, which is running in the Exadata machine. The details are back here. As you can see, the description of the item is LCD display. The unit cost of the item is 40.4. It's a material cost element, and currency is US dollars. So now on the simulated column here, I'm going to give a 20% discount, because one of the suppliers, I have many suppliers which are supplying this LCD display, and one of them is saying they're going to give me a 20% discount. So I'm going to come in and I'm going to enter that information with a 20% discount of 32.4. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the simulate button here. It opens up a little window here, and I'm going to give a simulation name. So I'm going to call it as ABC Manufacturing. There are a number of other parameters that are available here, including assignment set, which is what we call as sourcing rules. So this particular item, or LCD display CM66322, can be set up such that you can source it from multiple suppliers, 40% of the time from one supplier, 30% of the time from another supplier, and you can also make it in-house. You can specify that in the assignment set. There are a number of other parameters, including cost types, currency conversion rates, ECO effectivity dates, alternate bills, lot size options that you can specify. For the sake of the demo, I'm just going to give a simulation name and a description here, and I'm going to click on launch. When I click on launch, what it's going to do is it's going to go and find every single leaf node part, subassembly, finished good that uses this LCD display CM66322 and do a where used. Once it finds it, it's going to do a full supply chain cost roll-up of all of those products, subassemblies that use this particular product, and comes back with a new cost that includes that 20% discount of this one particular item. Typically in an ERP system, with the medium data set that I have in this Exadata environment, if you run this as a batch program, this would take about 3.5 to 4 hours to complete with the volume of data that is there in the system. And I'm going to click on launch, and you can see the speed in which this works. It's done. So what you're seeing here is live demo, and I'm going to take a little bit of time to explain the result set here. As you can see, ABC Manufacturing is the simulation name that I gave for this simulation. I've gotten some row result sets here. The last row that you see here, CM66322, is the LCD display in which the unit cost was 40.4, and I gave an approximately 19.8% discount to 32.4 here. And all of these other products use this LCD display have been rolled up from their original cost to the simulated cost that includes this 20% discount that the LCD display has. Now the next question that typically customers would ask is, how much of inventory do we have for this LCD display? How much have we bought from our suppliers that we are yet to receive into our shop floors? Do we have some of them in transit that we haven't received as yet? How much have we already issued to manufacturing because we bought it at the original cost of 40.4, now we are getting a 20% discount. So how much do we have? What is the impact to the valuation of these products? So typically in an ERP system you would go and run half a dozen different reports. You would do manual comparison to find out what the inventory and in transit and WIP valuation are. In our case what we did is we added some columns to the right here, and you just simply come in here and you click on load values, and instantly you would get the entire valuation, both quantity on hand, in transit, and what has been issued to production right from here for those products, inclusive of the change that you had, both the existing value as well as the simulated value. The next thing I'm going to show you is just pick a particular product here. Here in this case I'm going to pick this AS66701. Simply going to double click on it. As you can see, I'm drilling down into the entire bill of material and cost structure for this product. From this one single place you can actually now visualize and see how the cost of making that finished good is in every level of your bill of material, all the way to every resource, every cost element that goes into making this finished good product of AS66701 at every level of your bill of material. The yellow line that you see here is the changed line, which we gave the 20% discount. As you can see, the cost of this new product AS66701 is 47.71. Once you're here, you can actually go in and do further simulations. Like for example, this product uses injection molding machine as one of the resources, and it currently takes 0.01 hour, and it is $70 an hour as the usage rate. So I'm going to simply come in and say I had a maintenance on this machine, it's taking 0.02 hours, and given my utility bills have gone up, it is now $72 an hour. And I'm going to click on simulation. As you can see, just see the total cost is 47.79. I'm going to click on simulate right here, launch it, it's done, and you can see the new cost of the product, it's 48.79. All done completely in memory in real time. I can now come back here, I can zoom out, come back to the first page that I was in. I'm going to go back to the original page that we started with here. The next thing we said is, okay, once we're able to do the simulation, you had a change. It could be any change. It could be a resource change, it could be a rate change, it could be a raw material change, it could be a utility cost change, and what the impact is. The next thing we wanted to do was, what about products that are made in different locations? Let's say you have a factory in South America and a factory in Puerto Rico, and you want to make sure that these two products, the same product that's actually manufactured in two different locations, there is a difference in cost. You can simply come and specify those two products, or pick two products right from here and click on cost compare. Instantly we will put both of those costs side by side, selections right there. I can just go use the standard Excel functionalities. You can add columns, calculations right on top of Excel right here with the data set here, and you can come in here and visualize two products side by side here that are manufactured in 2 different locations, and you can actually now drill down and look at the entire difference in cost. It could be something that is more expensive to manufacture in a particular location, a particular raw material or a supplier might be causing the extra cost, and you can make those make-buy decisions or change in manufacturing right from doing this analysis side by side here. Now I'm going to go back to the original screen that I had here. I'm going to Excel, split the screen back, going back to in-memory cost management, and I'm going to zoom out to the original screen. As you can see, the first couple of questions were, tell me what the impact was. I gave a discount of 20% or a 19% to one particular part, and what was the change in the manufacturing cost. I did comparisons against 2 different manufacturing locations. I was also able to instantly visualize the new cost of the change across all of my inventory and in-transit and work-in-process valuations. The next question that typically comes up is, how does this impact your business? I have some buttons here on the top. I'm going to click on Launch Gross Profit Analyzer. We actually do this, all of this in real time. I'm going to click on Calculate Gross Profit. It does all of the calculations in real time. And then I'm going to click on Launch Gross Profit Analyzer. I'm going to log into a BI dashboard here. Click on In-Memory Cost Management Super User. And it's going to bring me a dashboard that gives me the gross profit analysis of achieving the 20% discount for one particular part that a supplier said he's going to give me a 20% discount. And as you can see, the graphs here on the left shows you the cost of goods sold. As you can see, it's decreasing because of the 20% discount for these products. The gross margins are slightly going up. All of this is actually calculated in real time. Typically, you calculate cost of goods sold for products that are booked and shipped, but we've gone ahead and also calculated what we call as gross margins for unshipped orders. For booked orders that are yet to be shipped, what is the impact of the margins for unshipped orders? And we can also bring in your sales forecast here, either from the past or to the future. And you can simply visualize the impact of achieving that 20% discount for that particular product of that part to your margins over time. Now, in addition to this is all integrated to our ERP system, which is eBusiness Suite. And click on eBusiness Suite Home here. We have an executive dashboard that we have built with in-memory cost management, gross profit analysis. Here, it always defaults the actual. I'm going to uncheck the actual, and I'm going to pick this simulation that I created, which is ABC Manufacturing here. I'm going to enter a value for the ledger here, and I'm going to simply press apply. And as you can see, it gives you a complete P&L for the company in terms of what that one particular part and its impact to the entire business in terms of sales revenue, cost of goods sold, gross margins, compared to what the simulated values are. You can actually bring in your sales forecast either from the Oracle systems, Demantra, or if you have an external sales forecast, you can bring that information in. You can look at this information by various standard dimensions, by customer, by time, by period, by sales rep, by territory, all the standard BI dimensions. So as you can see how powerful this solution is, we're able to model in all of the changes, and we're actually recalculating and revaluing the entire ERP system in real time. And you can actually do this in a few seconds between your Excel spreadsheet and this BI dashboard. So how do we accomplish these in-memory applications, leveraging large volumes of data to be able to massage this in real time and to be able to provide the solution? This is a culmination, a lot of technologies from Oracle that has made it possible today. Starting with the Oracle's in-memory database, which is 12C in-memory option, where we have this columnar query capability, where we can actually sift through large number of rows in very short amount of time. We're also leveraging core capability from our engineered systems, including Oracle's Exadata and Exalytics machines, leveraging the flash cache and smart scan capabilities of our engineered systems, all hardwired into these applications that we have built. We also have a lot of technology components, ingredients that are used in this solution. That includes Oracle's data mining, Oracle's time-stem database within Exalytics, Oracle's business intelligence, Oracle's Essbase, and the solutions all put together from apps all the way through our engineered system to provide these advanced capabilities for our customers. With this, we are actually building, with this architecture, with this technology, we are building a number of new modules, starting with this cost management for both discrete and process industries that I just talked about. And we are adding in a lot of new modules for our manufacturers, global manufacturers, who have a very fundamental problem of large data volume growth. As you have these cost records, as you have these transactional records that are growing in volume, how do we look at this large volumes of data and to provide applications, to provide technology, provide capabilities that can solve certain critical business problems for them. And a roadmap from the next set of in-memory applications that we're going to be productizing in the next 12 months or so. The first series of them is what we call as cost planning. The demonstration that you saw was a simulation tool where you can actually model in any changes, whether it's raw material changes or a supplier discount, and you can visualize what the impact of that to your business is. But now the next thing is, cost planning, where we can tell you what those changes should be. Leveraging our core in-memory technology here, we are able to allocate all of the costs that are actually going into building a product, what we call as cost of goods sold manufacturing, to get an accurate picture of computing the cost of goods sold manufacturing, whether it's resources, whether it's utility costs, whether it's factory overheads, anything that's required to actually going and building a product, and to be able to accurately computing that in real time. And this in-memory cost planning is the next phase of in-memory cost management, but where we can tell you what the more accurate cost of goods sold manufactured is. A lot of output that comes from this product, inclusive of what we call as break-even analysis. How much should you price your product to break even? How much should you manufacture to break even? And so on and so forth can also be derived from the solution. With the same theme of big data and large growing volumes of data, we are also building a number of in-memory applications that leverage this in-memory technology between our in-memory database and our engineered systems to answer specific questions for our manufacturers, our global manufacturers. Simple questions, right? How is your quality information? How are your defects from your past reflecting on what is happening in your manufacturing shop floor today? Can we get questions out of some historical data that's happened over time to answer questions predictably ahead of time, so that you can avoid making defective quality parts or achieving better yields in your manufacturing over time? Looking at all these basic questions and looking at large volumes of growing data, we think that bringing in all of this information together, whether it's product data, whether it's quality data, whether it's purchasing data, whether it's bill of material, whether it's routing, supplier data, all of them consolidated together into simple analysis of what we call as big data analytics, using our in-memory technology, is the next set of applications that we are building, further expanding the in-memory cost management products that we've built. Now, these are also going to be industry specific. So we are looking at advanced yield and quality management capabilities for high-tech manufacturers, semiconductor manufacturers, metals manufacturers, life sciences customers, that solve a set of business critical problems. That includes what are the key things that you need to accomplish to improve on your yields, better your cycle times in your manufacturing. Can we look at patterns that happened in your shop floor, in your products that you made in the past, and predictably look at what are the key things that need to be solved today so that you can improve on your yields and avoid defects that goes into your products. A collection of tools and technologies, including genealogy and traceability. Like, for example, traceability is a very important problem today for pharmaceutical manufacturers, for automotive manufacturers, where there is a lot of recalls that happen. The ability to click, drill down, and visualize where the item came from, where the part came from, which serial number was it, which lot number was it, which supplier actually supplied it, all the way to which customer shipment that it was sent to. And to be able to quickly do that analysis is very, very valuable for our customers. And to be able to look at this entire set of data, big data, as growing volumes of data in real time, is what all the solutions are all about. And we are building a number of modules that includes yield and cost monitoring, statistical process control, genealogy and traceability, pattern detection and predictive analytics, looking at patterns of failures from the past to predict what is going to happen in the shop floor in the future. And then comparative analysis, a simple tool that you saw with the Excel spreadsheet where we could compare cost between two manufacturing locations side by side. Similarly, can we look at raw material information, quality information, detailed drill down information between different parts, different assemblies, different manufacturing plants. That's what we call as comparative analysis. Quick analysis, all done in real time. These are new modules that we'll be building and productizing on top of eBusiness Suite, leveraging our in-memory technology and our Oracle's engineered system over the next year. And they will all use our cutting edge technology to leverage what we call as big data analytics. So some of the key benefits we think our customers are going to be obtaining, specifically our global manufacturers that run global operations all over the world, end-to-end visibility of their manufacturing process, quickly being able to identify opportunities to improve their manufacturing and their quality, recognize patterns specifically, and predict future events. Right? Can you actually improve on yields? A typical semiconductor manufacturing today, if there is a 1 to 2% increase of their yields, that would be several $1 million in savings for them. Looking at such problems in a very holistic way is what our approach is, and to also look at specific root cause analysis of what caused those defects or what were the deviations that can improve on the cycle times from a manufacturing perspective. Thank you very much. Thanks for watching, and we'll have more exciting solutions for you the next time we present. Thank you very much.